Half a day, I'm May Habib from PNC News. Thank you for joining us. Coffee with the candidates. Yet another candidate with us, current Congressman Nicolas, and hopeful, of course, in this upcoming election. Congressman, it has been a heated fight, I gotta say, between yourself and Robert Underwood. I don't think even you can deny that.
Yeah, it's definitely been an interesting election cycle. I've kind of been down this road before. My last couple of elections, there's been drama, but we just stay focused on the work. You know, that's always been what I would go back to my team with and go back to my family with, and I just tell them, you know what? At the end of the day, regardless of what the politics turns out, the people are going to judge us based on the work that we're producing, and if the people are satisfied with us, and they'll keep us. And if they're not, then it's time for us to move on. And so we focus everything on the work that we do, and we're confident that's going to turn out well for us this election.
Okay, you mentioned the word drama, and I can't help but sort of want to take that a little bit further and discuss with you. There are allegations, and they are allegations, they're not proven, that have forced a congressional subcommittee to look further into, some claims that people have made against you. Talk to me about that. What can you say about that? Because the people are listening and the people want to know something from your side.
Well, I really can't speak about it. We have the right to representation through the due process that we're going through. We've invoked that right, and my attorneys have advised me, you know what, in order for everything to just be as streamlined as possible, just don't comment on anything, and let's handle this thing through the due process and the committee. And so that's what we're doing right now. I know that the public, of course, wants to hear about things, and we definitely will update the public as soon as we're able to. I share in their frustrations. I have a lot of things I would really, really want to say, but we gotta just stick with it right now, and that's just where we're at.
Do you foresee this subcommittee coming to some sort of conclusion before the general election?
I'm not sure. The process is very opaque, and I don't know how quickly they'll be able to come to any kind of resolution. I have heard of cases taking as long as 4 years. So I'm not sure how quickly they'll be able to finish up.
Okay, and what do you say to questions surrounding your finances? And people saying that there are questionable finances, some finances that had to be paid back. Just recently, the FEC, we were made privy to an FEC letter sent to your treasurer that was saying that some receipts may not have been sent in on time for a certain period of needing to disclose all your receipts and disbursements. What do you say about people that are questioning sort of the ethics around the money?
There's just to be clear, we're not under investigation at all by the Federal Election Commission. This is par for the course. These things happen all the time with other offices as well. And returning funds is not unheard of when you figure out that there's a certain transaction that you needed to address. And we will always do the right thing and address those transactions when they become known to us. So just for clarity's sake, the FEC has no issues with our campaign. They communicate with us when they need to, and we comply when we have to.
Sorry, what I meant was the public perception of questions surrounding campaign finances.
Yeah, if there's no FEC concern, that the public really shouldn't be either. As I mentioned, as these things materialize and we address them, that's just the way these things unfold. And we've been very, very cooperative in making sure that everything is being done above board, especially when it becomes known to us.
Okay. Guam is under PCOR 1 right now, as you very well know, but the primaries are around the corner. Do you plan on coming home?
I really would like to. I was just sharing earlier before we went live that I've actually rescheduled my flight 5 times in the last month. I've been really, really trying to come home. We just have certain things that pop up out here that we really want to get in front of and stay in front of. And, as I mentioned earlier, it's the work that we're using and we're relying on to not only keep us in office, but I mean, it's the whole reason why we're here. And so when we have these opportunities for us to make sure that we're providing the best service for the people by being present, then absolutely we're going to remain. And so even just recently, I had a flight that I was planning on taking on Saturday. Now I'm moving it to Sunday, and then we'll see if that even sticks based on what happens this Saturday. So a lot of moving targets, but I really miss Guam, and I can't wait to come home.
Okay, if you'll allow me to press you a little bit on that, what are the business things that you need to take care of in Washington that you can't do while back here on Guam, including voting, aka voting by proxy when you're here?
There's a lot of stuff that we're working on. As a matter of fact, I was kind of hesitant to disclose this, but right now, with the whole post office issue, we're really working with various member offices and committee staff, trying to get an amendment language in there because Guam is still considered outside of the U.S. Customs Zone, even in the U.S. Postal Service. And so in this post office bill, what we're really working on is we're trying to get language in there to have the U.S. Postal Service regard Guam entirely as domestic. And that would be a really huge breakthrough because a lot of businesses that people of Guam order from to try and bring stuff in, when they want to order something, they don't ship to Guam because Guam is considered international. They have to fill out a customs form and send a product. And so we can really unlock a lot of e-commerce for our people if we're able to get that resolved. And so that's just one example of why we make those tough decisions. I know that my challenger has been repeatedly trying to make a case of me not being present on Guam, but we know why we're here. And it's absolutely not because we're trying to avoid anybody. It's a campaign. I would absolutely love to be home campaigning, but the work comes first, and that's exactly what we're doing out here.
So would you be open to a virtual debate then? I know the Finogi Coalition had a debate a few weeks ago, earlier this month, and I know that you weren't present. Are you open to a virtual debate?
Absolutely. There's nothing that we're not afraid to talk about. Our record speaks for itself. We've been very, very effective in this first term, our first term, so yeah, I'm not afraid at all. As a matter of fact, I believe the chamber has something coming up on the 26th, I think, that we're definitely working to be able to participate in.
Okay, what do you say about your working relationship with the current administration? You've been publicly critical of the current administration. How would you describe your working relationship with them? Because whoever gets into Congress does have 2 more years of working with this specific administration.
Right. I'd like to clarify. I don't recall a specific instance when I've been critical of the administration. There are specific instances where I've highlighted areas of opportunity that I felt needed to be taken advantage of, and we've absolutely pointed those opportunities out. I also recall periods where we identified risks that were being presented to us in the work that we're doing out here, in line with what the administration was pushing. And we have a job to do out here, whether it's a Democrat governor or a Republican governor. We're going to make sure that the opportunities for our people are going to be put front and center. And the people of Guam, they know my work. When we had a Republican governor when I was a senator, I was the exact same way. When we have opportunities for our people, we're going to present those opportunities and we're going to advocate for them. So I really wish that's what the focus would be on. I know that it makes for good headlines to try and create the drama aspect of it, but the reality is that it's really just differences in policy, or it's differences in opportunity, the idea of being able to pursue certain opportunities. But we're not going to ever be discouraged from doing that, and if we're going to continue to see areas that we can advocate for the benefit of the people of Guam, we're going to do that.
Okay, I don't think there's any denial that there are some sticking points, however you want to word it, with yourself and the governor's office. And so if elected again, how would you remedy that? How would you find a way to work better together for ultimately the good of Guam?
Could you give me an example of what you mean by sticking points so I can directly address the question?
I mean, the war claims, you've been really vocal against, the governor pursuing a local route for that. In terms of the COVID funding, the Federal CARES Act funding, in a hearing actually in Washington, you were really critical of the administration, saying they weren't as transparent as you needed them to be. With the homeless funding that just recently came in, you were critical of GURA, saying that the money's not getting out as much as it's coming in, and then GURA kind of fought back and said, well, we need to follow a process, we can't just divvy up this money. So those are just a few examples. So I'm just wondering, in a way to move our conversation forward and then wrapping up this interview, what is the message you want to leave to the people of Guam of how you will work to better them and to better their lives if elected to go back to Washington?
You know, in all of those examples that you pointed out, we were fighting for something that was accurate. The concern with regards to the war claims was a legitimate concern, and we were able to fortunately overcome that over time, and I'm grateful for that. The issues with respect to CARES Act funding, those are real issues. You know, the money getting out to our people is real issues. I really wish that I wasn't the only one speaking about those issues. I wish that there was more elected officials actually advocating for us to be able to mobilize those resources faster. Same with Gora. I mean, you know, we have housing agencies throughout the country that are all receiving these funds. Our housing agency is no exception, but it's important for us to be able to mobilize those resources. And if there was more transparency to at least inform the public, we received this money, we're working on the plan, this is how the plan is unfolding, then we wouldn't be having these concerns. But as long as the public is coming to me and the people are coming to me saying, Congressman, do something, Congressman, help us, Congressman, say something, I'm going to. And so I hope that we can view it from the perspective of not, you know, you need to be, you know, be quiet, Sir Nicholas, because, you know, you're rocking the boat too much. I really don't think that that's how we should be leading our community. I think we need to be responding to our community, and that's the commitment that I'm going to make to the people of Guam.
Okay, well, I really appreciate it, Congressman. You know, what's your final message? Just a quick little message to the people of Guam that are watching.
It really is the privilege of a lifetime to be able to serve you and to work for you. It is very, very challenging. We do deal with a lot of criticism and a lot of questions, but we do it for you. And if you will still have us this election, we will continue doing this work for you, and we will continue to produce at the rate that we have been. And we'll just keep trying our best and keep trying to improve ourselves as much as possible as well. Thank you so much for the opportunity to serve.
Congressman, thank you so much for your time. As always, we wish we had more time. Stay safe out there, and when you do come home, please travel safe. This has been Coffee with the Candidates with current Congressman, Democrat Michael San Nicolas. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you again soon.
Thanks, May.